Hey everyone, welcome back to Coaching Changes Lives. So glad you can join us. Now, today I'm going to talk about designing actions in facilitating clients' growth. That has to do with competency number 8. Now, too often, as coaches, as communicators, even as leaders, we're so quick to want to do actions. We're so quick to want to get the actions done. We are always action-oriented, results-oriented, and always solutions focused, and overly focused on those areas might allow us or might cause us to miss out the very important elements in the conversational process. And those elements are what I call the elements of being then doing. We're very quick to want to kind of do, then to kind of be in that moment with the clients. And so what I want to do here is kind of break down for you one key aspect of the competency today. And I'm going to share with you this competency. It's going to be really powerful and will help you shape the way you're coaching, the way you're having conversations with your clients, and the way you're focused around the matters at hand. We all want to achieve the desired outcomes, and that is the outcome that we want to achieve, right? That's the desired outcome end state. But how do we get there? How do we get the motivation to move there? Where do we get that energy and drive from? Are we coming from a place where we're trying to squeeze to get, or are we coming from a place of realization to achieve? Where are those thoughts coming from? And that's going to be a key element for us to consider today. So let's dive right in and explore first the definition for facilitating clients' growth. And here, let's take a look at what it says here. It says, partners with client to transform learning and insight into action, promotes clients' autonomy in the coaching process. Promotes clients' autonomy in the coaching process. Now, in particular here, I'm going to get us focused on one part, which is point number two, which is partners with client to design goals, actions, and accountability measures that integrate and expand new learning. That is an incredible statement there, right? Partners with client. In the coaching process, the co-creation process is essential in every conversation. It's not about what I want to do for the client. It's really about that partnership with the client. What does the client want? And let me help the client. Let me support the client the best way I can. Now, when we hear the client express a certain thought of an outcome, we are very quick to want to kind of solve, analyze, give them ideas, give them solutions. Why? It's not because we have a bad intention, but rather because sometimes we might have overcome those situations before, and we wish the clients could use our ways. We wish our clients could see what we see. We wish our clients could adopt some of the things that we are saying so that they don't make the same mistakes. So intentions are good, but what is not good? It's not coming from within. It's not coming from the autonomy of self, which means that it's coming from the external force. I'm telling you what you should do. I'm telling you this is the best way to do it. I'm telling you that's the best way to do. So when a client ends up doing that, where is that motivation and congruence and alignment coming from? Is it coming from me as an individual? Is it coming from the client? How do we align that? And that is going to be key in the conversational process. So as such, this part here, first part is about partnering with clients to design that focus so that we're aligned and very clear about where we want to be. And notice this, it's not just design of actions out of nothing. It's from a sense of alignment and integration with the learnings. So if you think about this, when you attend our class in Mastering Coaching or Team Leadership Coaching, or even our MCC program where we look at different levels of layers and depths of conversations, we begin to realize one important element in the coaching process, which is in that 30-minute call and a 60-minute call, the client is learning something. There is a level of learnings, maybe learnings about the situations, maybe learnings about themselves, but that realizations and the learnings are essential elements that needs to be integrated and needs to be weaved in for the actions to be effectuated well. Now, learnings and insights are great, but it's not going to do us much change. The best change happens when we take the learnings, we add the actions, we set a goal for it, and when we see it happen, the learning stays permanent. So have you ever had a chance to read a book, or maybe you've attended a seminar, or maybe you attended a workshop, or maybe you paid money for consulting, but there were so many learnings that were coming through. But what ends up happening is that the learnings are just there, right? It's all in my notes. I have so much learnings, but have I integrated the learnings? And that's why, to me, one of the most important elements is what I call insights actioning. I cover this in our MCC level programs and our PCC level programs, and even in Mastering Coaching, what I call insights actioning. The ability for you to integrate those insights and to create actioning forward, it's essential element for us to move forward in the right step, in the right directions, to really help the clients to see the manifestations of those outcomes and the desired end state. If there are no alignment, if there's no integration, what ends up happening is this: I'm designing actions that is separated from my goals and desires. They may look like parallels, but they're not really coming from a place of learnings. When you pair learnings and actions together, you begin to set into action a new habit pattern, a new behavior change. Think about this. When we have our kids growing up, we often pair the learnings with a certain set of actions. For example, maybe a child learns that, okay, not to put your fingers into the electric socket. Okay, so if they valid and they put them there, immediately something happens. Say for example, the parent shouts, or maybe they get a little cane, right? But right at the moment, there's a learning opportunity there. You begin to tell the child that, okay, don't put your hands in that thing there, right? If you do that, you would experience a certain pain. So the association with the pain becomes an action, right? Which is not to do it. So if I see an open plug, my hand is not going to go inside. My hand's not going to play with the plug. So there is a linkage between the learnings and the actions. Without that linkage, it's just going to be any ordinary actions. There's nothing going to be powerful in the whole process, right? So this is going to be an important element as we consider how do we integrate insights and actioning together. Now, also here, it says this: integrate and expand new learnings. So while we are designing actions as well, while we're designing goals and accountability measures, there are new layers and new dimensions of learnings that happens. As a coach, as we tune in with the client, we are very sensitive to all the different elements of the learnings the clients are having at that moment. Remember this, that facilitating clients' growth, it's a sense of learning. What is the client learning today? And the learning happens throughout the whole entire process. And learnings are learnings if it stays learnings, but if we can integrate the learnings into the actions, into the go-forward phase, it becomes something beautiful. In fact, in our mentor coaching success journey, that's when we mentor coaches all year round to help them to really understand the core competencies and be able to apply them in their conversation skills. Now, too often people say, oh, I've attended enough. I've attended 7 hours of group mentor. I've attended 10 hours. I've sufficient hours. It's not about sufficient hours. It's about the ability for you to go deeper in your skill sets. One thing I always tell coaches, when coaches tell me, oh, I've completed 10 hours, I know one thing is true, that this coach has not spent enough time, enough energy, enough effort to go and really reflect on their skill sets as a coach. Now you might say that, okay, Jedi, I'm okay with just 10 hours and go ahead with it. That's perfectly okay. But what I want to encourage all of us is this: learning never stops, at a certain juncture. If learning stops right after our tertiary education, then our minds have stopped growing. Remember, our minds, the neuroscience of mind tells us this, that there's neuroplasticity, which means that our minds are malleable, they're stretchable, they can be expanded, they can be taught, they can grow. And the best way for us to do it is to kind of expand our minds, stretch our thinking by doing a lot of different things, integrating learnings, learn new things, coming for classes, coming for mental coaching classes where we challenge you, where we stretch your conversational awareness and help you to go deeper than ever before. So this lesson that I hope that you can take home today, it's about the ability to partner with clients and to effectuate change. In our next episode, I'm going to share with you how to then go forward in this. How do we then consider all these elements of design elements? How do we begin to have design thinking process? How do we have design learning process? Stay tuned to the next video coming right up. So until next time, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, share this with your friends, and I hope to see you in one of our classes really soon.